Krishna.
Hi Krishna.
So here we are in
Sahara Desert. That's how it feels like anyway.
Sahara Desert is nowhere near as lush as this green grass,
All
and
I
green
can
trees
feel is the
behind
heat.
us. We're not in the Sahara Desert. We're in Russell Square.
Yes.
And we're continuing to read
Srimad Bhagavatam.
Srimad Bhagavatam. Here we are.
Canto 3, Chapter 7, Text 21.
Om
Further
Namo.
inquiries. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Further inquiries by Vidura.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Lots of people sleeping around us, so we've got to be quiet.
Yeah, and if you talk too quiet, then it won't hear you.
Alright, text 21. After creating the total material energy, the Mahatattva, and thereby manifesting a gigantic universal form with senses and sense organs, the Supreme Lord entered within it. Fully satisfied by the answers of the sage Maitreya, Vidura wanted to understand the remaining portions of the creative function of the Lord, and he took the clue from the previous topics.
Text 22. The Purusha incarnation lying on the causal ocean is called the original Purusha in the material creations, and his Virat form in whom all the planets and their inhabitants live. He has many thousands of legs and hands. Purport. The first Purusha is Karnadakshaya Vishnu. The second Purusha is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And the third Purusha is Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, in whom is contemplated the Virat Purusha, the gigantic form in which all the planets with their different developments and inhabitants are floating.
Text 23. O great Brahmana, you have told me that the gigantic Virat form and his sense objects and 10 kinds of life here exist with 3 kinds of life vigor. Now, if you will, kindly explain to me the different powers of the specific divisions. Text 24. Oh my Lord, I think that the prowess manifests in...
Process.
No, I've got prowess. Manifest in the forms of sons, grandsons, and family members has spread all over the universe in different varieties and species. Text 25. O learned Brahmana, please describe how the leader of all the demigods, namely Prajapati Brahma, decided to establish the various Manus, the heads of the ages. Please describe the Manus also, and please describe the descendants of those Manus. Jesus. The human race, or Manushya Sara, descends from the Manu sons and grandsons of the Prajapati Brahma. The descendants of Manu reside in all the different and rule all the universe.
I think we're just reading now for a little while.
Yeah.
Text 26. O son of Mitra, kindly describe how the planets are situated above the earth as well as underneath it. And also, please mention their measurement as well as that of the earthly planets. Purport. Yasmin vigyate sarvam evam vigyatam bhavati. Munduka Upanishad 1.3. This Vedic hymn declares emphatically that the devotee of the Lord knows everything material and spiritual in relationship with the Lord. Devotees are not simply emotional, as is ill-conceived by certain less intelligent men. Their direction is practical. They know everything that is and all the details of the Lord's domination over the different creations.
Text 27. Also, please describe the living beings under different classifications, subhumans, humans, those born of the embryo, those born of perspiration, those who are twice born, the birds, and the plants and vegetables. Kindly describe their generations and subdivisions also. These are a lot of questions, isn't it?
Vidura is very inquisitive.
Text 28. Please also describe the incarnations of the material modes of nature, Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara. And please describe the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his magnanimous activities. Although Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara, the three incarnations of the material modes of nature, are the principal deities for the creation, maintenance and destruction of the cosmic manifestation, they are not the final authority. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, is the ultimate goal, the cause of all causes. He is the Ashraya, or the final rest of everything.
Any thoughts so far?
Krishna is supreme.
Okay. Text 29. O great sage, kindly describe the divisions and orders of human society in terms of symptoms, behavior, and the characteristics of mental equilibrium and sense control. Also, please describe the births of the great sages and the categorical divisions of the Vedas. Purport. The four statuses and orders of human society, Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras, as well as Brahmacharis, Grihastas, Vanaprasthas, and Sannyasis, are all divisions of quality, education, culture, and spiritual advancement attained by practicing control of the mind and senses. All these divisions are based on the particular nature of each individual person, not on the principle of birth. Birth is not mentioned in this verse because birth is immaterial. Vidura is famous in history. Is born of a Shudrani mother, yet he is more than a Brahmana by qualification, because he is seen here to be the disciple of a great sage, Maitreya Muni. Unless one achieves at least the Brahminical qualifications, one cannot understand the Vedic hymns. Mahabharata is also a division of the Vedas, but it is meant for women, Shudras, and Dvija Bandhus, the worthless children of the higher section. The less intelligent section of society can avail themselves of the Vedic instructions simply by studying the Mahabharata. So Mahabharata is, for in one sense, for those who are less intelligent, but we can understand the Vedic instructions simply by studying the Mahabharata. And of course this mentions the principle of Varna and Ashram, and how neither of them have to do with birth. It has to do with character and quality, as Bhagavad Gita says, Chatur Varna Maya Ashishtam, Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. Guna means quality and karma means activities. So one's Varna and Ashram is determined by their qualities and by their activities. Like that. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I was having a conversation with one devotee today, and they were feeling awkward because they were overseeing or looking after someone that's older than them. And she was just pointed out that you're senior by qualification, or like spiritually, even though she's materially younger, you know, in terms of status of life. So it's not based on the material.
Yeah. Okay. And in this situation, Prabhupada also points out that, of course, Vidura, he's born of a Sudrani, but actually his qualification is higher than that of a Brahmana, because he's taking such instructions and guidance from such an elevated person. And you can hear from his questions, he's certainly not lower than a Sudra, so like that.
Text 30. Please also describe the expansions of different sacrifices and the paths of mystic powers, analytical study of knowledge, and devotional service, all with their respective regulations.
Yeah, obviously he's in for a long haul conversation here.
I know, it's like when someone says at the end of the class, have you got any questions? He's getting it in, isn't it? He's getting like 108 questions. Have you got one question? What do you want to know? And it's like, oh, okay. Purport. The word tantrum is significant herein. Sometimes tantrum is misunderstood to be the black spiritual science of materialistic persons engaged in sense gratification. But here, tantrum means the science of devotional service compiled by Srila Narada Muni. One can take advantage of such regulative explanations of the path of devotional service and make progressive advancement in the devotional service of the Lord. Sankhya philosophy is the basic principle of acquiring knowledge, as will be explained by the sage Maitreya. The Sankhya philosophy enunciated by Kapila Dev, the son of Devahuti, is the real source of knowledge about the supreme truth. Knowledge not based on the Sankhya philosophy is mental speculation and can yield no tangible profit. So talking about tantra.
Tantrum.
Yeah, but tantra, black art.
Yeah. Tantra.
Tantrum.
Tantra.
Tantra.
It's a short A. Tantrum.
Dum-dum.
Which, when I first read it, I was thinking that, when a kid has an issue or they throw a fit, they say he's throwing a tantrum.
That's what I read it, yeah.
It's interesting because I wonder if that's kind of a derivative, if it comes from that. Of course, kids throwing a tantrum, it's not like they're throwing the black arts around,
but they can be scary, if you know what I mean.
It can be scary, yeah.
So obviously I knew that,
So this lady who's joined us, she's talking louder than we are. So
I
where are we at? Text 31?
Yeah.
She's American, right?
She's very
Like me.
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. And he wants
Okay, so text 31. Please also describe the imperfections and contradictions of the faithless atheist, the situation of cross-breeding, and the movements of the living entities in various species of life according to their particular modes of nature and work. Purport. The combination of living entities in different modes of material nature is called cross-breeding. Let me read that again. The combination of living entities in different modes of material nature is called cross-breeding. So I guess people from the same Varna or like that are meant to connect, not people who have different influence in different ways. It's supposed to, like Brahmins are meant to marry Brahmins and Kshatriyas are meant to marry Kshatriyas, like that, The faithless atheists do not believe in the existence of God, and thus their paths of philosophy are contradictory. Faithless atheists do not believe in the existence of God, thus their paths of philosophy. Atheistic philosophies never agree with one another. Different species of life are evidence of varieties of mixtures of the modes of material nature. Interesting.
Text 32. You may also describe the non-contradictory causes of religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and salvation, and also the different means of livelihood and different processes of law and order, as mentioned in the revealed scriptures. This is a lot, isn't it? Text 33. Please also explain the regulations for offering respects to the forefathers, the creation of the Pitraloka, the time schedule in the planets, stars, and luminaries, and their respective situations. It's like astrology and all that. The time durations of day and night, as well as months and years, are different in the different planets, stars, and luminaries. The higher planets, like the Moon and Venus, have time measurements different from those of the Earth. It is said that 6 months of this planet Earth equal 1 day of the higher planets. In Bhagavad Gita, the duration of 1 day in Brahmaloka is measured to be 1,000 times 4 yugas, or 4,300,000 years, multiplied by 1,000. And the month and year in Brahma are calculated in that measure.
Text 34. Please also describe the fruitive results of charity and penance, and of digging reservoirs of water. Please describe the situation of persons who are away from home, and also the duty of a man in an awkward position. Purport. The digging of reservoirs of water for public use is a great work of public use. Sorry. The digging of reservoirs of water for public use is a great work of charity, and retiring from family life after 50 years of age is a great act of penance performed by the sober human being. Well, there you go. Almost 50. Guess it's time to retire. It says from family life.
I'm your only family though, isn't it?
Almost. See you later.
Alright. Let's just finish this reading.
Okay.
Text 35. O sinless one, because the personality of Godhead, the controller of all living entities, is the father of all religion, and all those who are candidates for religious activities, finally describe how he can be completely satisfied. Purport. All religious activities are meant ultimately to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord is the father of all religious principles. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, text 16, all kinds of pious men, the needy, the distressed, the enlightened, and the inquisitive, approach the Lord in devotional service, and their devotion is mixed with material affection. But above them are the pure devotees, whose devotion is not tainted by any material tinges of fruitive work or speculative knowledge. Those who are only miscreants throughout their lives are compared to demons. That is Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, text 15. They are bereft of all knowledge in spite of any academic educational career they may pursue. Such miscreants are never candidates for satisfying the Lord.
Any thoughts? Text 36. O best among the Brahmanas, those who are spiritual masters are very kind to the needy. They are always kind to their followers, disciples, and sons without being asked by them. And the spiritual master describes all that is knowledge. Purport. There are many subjects to be known from the bona fide spiritual master. The followers, disciples, and sons are all on one level for the bona fide spiritual master, and he is always kind to them and always speaks to them on transcendental subjects, even though he is not asked by them. That is the nature of the bona fide spiritual master. Vidura appealed to Maitreya Muni to speak on subjects about which he might not have asked.
Text 37. Please describe how many dissolutions there are for the elements of material nature, and who survives after dissolution to serve the Lord while he is asleep. Purport. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said that all the material manifestations of innumerable universes appear and disappear with the breathing of Mahavishnu lying in yoga nidra or mystic sleep. Govinda, the ultimate supreme personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, lies sleeping unlimitedly on the causal ocean in order to create unlimited numbers of universes during that sleep. He lies on the water by his own internal potency, and I worship that supreme Godhead. Due to his breathing, innumerable universes come into existence, and when he withdraws his breath, there occurs the dissolution of all the lords of the universe. That only portion of the Supreme Lord is called Mahavishnu, and he is a part of Lord Krishna. I worship Govinda, the original Lord.
Am I reading now? Yeah.
Yes.
After the dissolution of the material manifestations, the Lord and his kingdom beyond the causal ocean do not disappear, nor do the inhabitants, the Lord's associates. The associates of the Lord are far more numerous than the living entities who have forgotten the Lord due to material association. The impersonalist explanation of the word aham in the 4 verses of the original Bhagavatam, aham eva sham eva agre, etc., is refuted here. The Lord and his eternal associates remain after the dissolution. Vidura's inquiry about such persons is a clear indication of the existence of all the paraphernalia of the Lord. This is also confirmed in the Kashi Khanda, as quoted by both Jiva Goswami and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, who follow in the footsteps of Srila Sridhar Swami. Na chavante hiyad bhakta mahatyan palayapadi atochuta kile loke sa eka sarvago vyayaha. The devotees of the Lord never annihilate their individual existences not even after the dissolution of the entire cosmic manifestation. The Lord and the devotees who associate with Him are always eternal in both the material and spiritual worlds. Interesting. So, interesting section, lots of questions by Vidura to Maitreya. And of course, there's going to be lots of time for Maitreya to answer these questions. We're almost finished this chapter.
Yeah.
So, but we'll pick up on another day. Because there's lots of sun.
Yeah, I might have heat stroke now, by the way.
Those birds just flew right across us.
Yeah.
So we might have heat stroke, or we might just feel enlivened from the sunny day. Okay, thank you all very much for tuning in.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai.